Hello everyone and welcome to Nier Replicant. I've been playing this game for took me about 30-ish hours to beat it. This game is a remake or a reimagining of Nier, which was supposed to be Drakengard 3, but instead became this game Nier. What can I say about Nier? These games are weird. Flat out. If you're going to get into any of these and you have Game Pass, Nier Automata is there. I highly recommend that you try Nier Automata because this game is not one thing. And to say it is one thing would be silly. I'll try and show you what I mean, but without showing you like set pieces or spoiler events. Oh, this is Kaine, by the way. Yes, she's in lingerie. I didn't even know she was in the game. She's on the cover, but I have the alternate cover on right now, and in the other cover, she's in a less suggestive pose. But let's get on with what I'm trying to say. So, as you can see, I'm up here on this ancient bridge. This is a post-apocalyptic world, clearly. And something's gone wrong, and humanity is back to just using swords and such. Let's go check out the junkyard here first. Now, full disclosure, I have played this game. I booted it up on my Xbox One S first. And honestly, surprised how fast these loading times are. This is on my Series X, so that loading time maybe double it. But it's honestly a decent time. You could do worse, very worse. So let's go over here. So if I show you the map here quickly, you can see how this is kind of like paths and tight and constrictive. Let's go into the junk heap here. I don't want to go too far, just in case. Well, I want to be able to, I don't know why I grabbed that mouse, but whatever. I just want to show you some of the different perspectives and different gameplay styles that come up. If you played Nier Automata, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, and for people who have played Nier Automata, you'll probably notice how the movement is very, very similar. The controls are, dare I say, identical? Now, I don't know if the controls were always like this with Nier Automata. With Nier Replicant, rather. Oh my goodness, with the original release of Nier. And anyone who's played both could clear that up for me. If you played both and the original handled differently, had different control schemes. But this feels like a very polished modern game. Sorry, I'm used to a little later in the game where I have some other things. Now, this game has a lot of really cool ideas, and this is not the way I want to go. I don't think there is a room like I'm thinking of in here. No, there's got to be one. And it doesn't have some of the things that you'd expect in a game like this. For instance, the game does not have any sort of warp or quick travel. But the map is relatively small and you have very high mobility. Like, as you can see, Nier here, the main everyone refers to the main character as Nier. it asks you for a name right at the beginning, so you can name your Nier whatever you'd like. I just hope you remember what it is. Oh, great. And there is full Japanese audio and English available for your listening pleasure. I prefer the Japanese because for some reason Kaede is just like curses up a storm in English and will say things like jackass or something like that. And in Japanese it censors her, I guess for comic relief. This game is wackadoo. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. So now it feels like an old... I can't move the camera at all. But they also get the side-scrollery bits, which I will go back to that bridge I was on and show you those off on my way back. And you get that same awesome music that like Nier Replicant had. The whole way through, this music is just beautiful. It's fantastical and it's soothing, and I really love it. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have talked about this game to death, and honestly, it was a fantastic run through. I only had problems in like one part, and mostly because I am a optimizing stingy person with my items at all times. I'm just gonna head back the way I came. The way I came, is it? This is not the way I came. I will hold on to items till the very end. I got one of the achievements by accident. You had to beat a specific boss in under 2 minutes. And I popped one of those notes. Do I have any? Yes, strength drops. And just started wailing on the boss. It was insanity. Yeah, here we go. So, you have good movement the whole time. And there is a lot of back and forth. It's very old school in that design, and there are ways the game feels old. The quest logic, how many fetch quests there are. But for you guys that love to roll is on the trigger here. Roll is faster than moving forward. I have actually tested this. Nice and slow music, and here we go. I'm going to show you a little bit of the side-scrollery bits. The only bits this one doesn't have that... Here we go. That Nier Replicant has would be the bullet hell type sections that it has. There's no bullet hell sort of thing. There are overhead views and other sequences, but a lot of the stuff is handled so well. And a lot of building interiors are done in that side-scrollery style. They're really weak, or I'm like super strong. So if you played Nier Automata, the first thing I tried to do was jump, and grab onto the operator thing. Like Wes kind of handles like the operator. He's got the regular shoot and then a different power. You have guard and roll. Are there things I don't like about this game? Some of the old school quest design feels a little too old school. There's a lot of back and forth between and reusing areas. And while I really don't hate the concept of reusing areas or saving on assets or things like that, it does kind of get... I found it got a little boring scenery-wise because there's only a map so large. That said, though, what's here story-wise is pretty decent. And kind of leaves you guessing the entire way through, like some sort of fantasy... I don't know what to compare it to. Whereas Nier Automata is more like Hansel and Gretel, Nier Replicant is kind of more like... I want to say The Wizard of Oz, but it's not really because, you know, you have protagonist, the book, the wizard, and the crass beauty. This game has a lot of depressing moments. If you're someone that's looking for something that's upbeat and happy to play, I can't recommend Nier Replicant or Nier Automata. Both of them are pretty depressing, and it can wear on a person. And it's kind of sad because you get invested with some of the characters. The voice acting is fantastic, and very few lines aren't voiced. Without spoiling anything, there is a huge section of the game that requires you to have decent reading comprehension and be able to answer multiple choice questions. If you don't want any excessive reading in your video games, skip Nier Replicant. There is a whole section that is very, very reading heavy. What else can I say about this game? The combat feels good. The controls are solid. The game feels good to play, and very rarely did I ever feel like I wasn't in control. Unless I was too close to the edge and got stuck on something. A bit like that. And get hit because I dodged into a wall or something. This game is not insanely hard. I'm trying to think if there's any parts that I really struggled on. There were a couple boss type fights that I struggled on, and parts where things were not 100% clear what was going on. But I think you could do worse. I really think you could do worse. Worth full price? I think it's worth full price. Some people might not. You could wait for it to go on sale a little later. I'm sure it'll be on sale for Christmas time or whatnot. But honestly, for a game that was made for 2 generation old consoles, and that's what you need to remember. Well, the generation before this one, it still looks good. Runs smooth. and is kind of a joy to play. I do think I like Nier Replicant better than Nier Automata. I have a more of a connection to Nier, the main character here. The story basically boils down to Nier, the older brother, is trying to find a cure for his sister's condition, referred to as black scrawl. And he hears of a prophecy where he could save her by collecting the sacred verse. So he goes with Wes here, or Shiro in Japanese. They call him Shiro. I think everyone calls him Shiro, except for Aine, who will call him all sorts of things. I also have to preface that there's a lot of quests in this game that are odd. One, you have to deliver a package to someone in this town over here from the main town over on the other side. Now, in order to deliver this package, you can't take any damage or roll, because the package will get damaged. So naturally, the first time I got all the way across the field, didn't take any damage, didn't fight anything, was totally 100% fine. Get inside the village, enemies spawn, and the package gets broken. It was a little frustrating, and I actually saved before, because I'm like, I don't want to go all the way back to go get this package to come back. But that's what I ended up doing, because the game kind of makes you clear out the monsters and then come back for it. I guess if you're better than me, which is totally possible, I'm not gonna say you can't be God tier at Nier. But if you're like God tier at Nier and you can deke people without using the tactical roll, which is like your only form of dodge, and maybe the jump, but I don't know if the air dash would count, but I know the roll would count. It is totally possible you could do something fantastic. I kind of like just looking at this world, to be honest. It's small, enclosed, and has a lot going for it. Again, fairly simple premise for a story, but the journey is something else entirely. Now, I don't really have much else to say about it. To come clean here, I have done one of the, I think it's 5 endings. Yes. And I got the first ending A, as it's called. I'll have to look on how to get the other ones. I'm not super worried about it, but starting it, there was more interesting things happening. Let me think. Honestly, I've loved this game. It's been such a blast and so entertaining to play. Yes, it has been a little aggravating in spots because some things aren't super clear. I found, but maybe, just maybe, I'm being a tiny bit convoluted, or was maybe a little bit distracted with talking with someone while I was playing. So I will be working through to get the other endings, and honestly the first one was, I would say, pretty bittersweet. The conclusion, the finale, the last little bit was great, but everything to get there was such a hefty cost. I think I'm just gonna end the video here because I'm just sitting here on this field here staring at Nier and probably watching Kenny just stand there. I like this game. I like this game a lot. But I can tell you from playing it, it's not for everyone. And I do hope that if you do give it a try, you love it. Again, Nier Automata is out there on Game Pass on PC and the console, and is a worthwhile game to play. I know the PC version is not the best, but honestly, it's fine, and I do love this game. But you know what? That's enough of me blabbing at the camera and saying almost nothing. Because I probably said next to nothing. I probably showed you a bit of combat. I rolled around and showed you some different combat styles, but I didn't really reveal much because I don't want to spoil it. I went into this game not knowing anything, so it was so fun for me just to experience it for the first time. And I feel like a lot of games get spoiled for me a little bit before they launch. Like Resident Evil Village. I'm loving it right now. I started playing it. I'll probably talk about it next week. I should be done it. I'm also going to get my first of my COVID vaccine injections, so that'll be fun. Hopefully I can get through it next week and get some work done on another project. But some of the stuff was ruined for me by people talking about and a lot of pre-release material. And I know people are excited and they're like, oh, check out these cool things. I get it. And it's a fear of missing out kind of thing. I honestly adore what they did with Resident Evil Village. I think it is the perfect way to combine things. But until I'm finished it, I'm not confident in talking about it. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. 25 minutes. I gotta get some sleep. I barely slept last night. It's been quite a week. But I hope you all enjoyed this video of me kind of blabbering. Well, look at this beautiful field. Anyway, until next time, matane.